have to forgive me for this being pretty off the cuff. I don't really like reading off of scripts, and this isn't really about me trying to like be super organized or formal. I really do just like talking off the dome. So I would like to introduce an idea that's been cooking into my brain. And I have a very bad tendency to like let ideas cook a little too long in my brain to the point where they're never finished or I never do them. And I just want to get this out. I just want to try to start it. A very big interest in my life is not only just fighting games, but philosophy in general. And I think that it is a pretty niche topic when it comes to the overall FGC as a whole. I think sports psychology and sports philosophy is a really popular topic among like big sports heads, you know, like people who watch ESPN and shit like that for not just the games, but like the interviews afterwards and like the post talk discussions about the previous game or something along those lines, right? And I think that not that it's completely rare, but it is an incredibly untapped market in the FGC right now to talk about FGC psychology and philosophy, right? But that isn't to say that it's not talked about at all. There are some people that I look up to greatly, and the people that inspired me to attempt to start this in the first place. Number one is Sajam, right? He doesn't really do these topics much anymore because once you already kind of cover a topic, there's not really much more else to say about it, right? Some of his older videos talking about the mentality of being able to take a loss or what it means to lose to a less experienced player than you are and the mentality behind that. The psychology and the philosophy of like being able to stick around with a game through thick and thin despite its popularity. Those videos really took a big impact on the way that I think about content creation as a whole, and also the way I think about playing like video games and fighting games as a whole, right? But Sajam definitely goes through the psychology part of fighting games way more. And also another person who did this, which I think it literally was called like FGC 101 or like FGC Psychology 1 or Psych 1 or some shit like that. Romola, when she used to mainly do like fighting game content. How to learn, like what's the best way for you to develop a training regimen for yourself, what it means to compete, being able to recognize situations in fighting games so where you don't get so frustrated, or how to read your opponent because they want to win so badly. Those things were really, really important to the development of this little series I want to do here. But the number one creator who made me want to do this is without a doubt Majin Obama. While those two delve into like the psychology of the fighting games, I think Majin Obama really hits the nail on the philosophy. I feel like Majin Obama is really, really good at taking that history and putting physicality to it and showing people who watch his content that there is always history to look back upon if you want to go forward and move forward, right? This philosophy of, not repeating the same mistakes as our past, and like going and looking at like older games and seeing their examples and why does this game not vibe with me? Why do I not vibe with this game? It's more than likely because past games will probably vibe with you a little bit more, right? It's not always about this esports Hollywood shit. You can have fun messing around, being loud, being goofy as shit. It's not all about this big, all-encompassing scene of esports and fame and fortune and stuff like that, right? He really delves into what it means to play fighting games as an individual and as a community. And I feel like that's something we can really dive into and talk about more, I feel like that's something that I can tap into a market, so I really want to bring this to attention. I really, really like to talk about these different types of topics. So I'm literally I do have some topics pre-prepared, but my main goal is philosophy. Now, I'd like to preface beforehand, before I start talking about anything, right? I am not a professional by any shape of the imagination. I am not a philosophy major. I am not a psychology major. I think having a major in philosophy kind of defeats the purpose of philosophy in general, but that's besides the point. I don't have those types of credentials, but I have a very big passion about it. I have a very, and maybe I'm misguided, maybe I'm using this term incorrectly, but regardless, I want to start this series of FGC philosophy, talking more to you guys what it means to play these games and the many layers of life that is encompassed inside the fighting game community as well. The many walks of life, the many types of different things that fighting games can teach you as life lessons as well about people. I genuinely think that this is going to be something special. And you can expect a lot more episodes of this stuff too, in between like my Marvel vs. Capcom 2 videos. Expect like in between gameplay videos, you can also expect my FGC philosophy videos. So the next topic, and whatnot. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.